We're going on. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's nobody here.
Well, I just hit the go last
So hopefully somebody will show up. We are live. We are here live for your viewing pleasure. Rob's here.
Hello, I'm going to be feeding my little boo-boo butt.
Rob, you're always watching.
No, Rob is monitoring, he says. Not watching.
Okay. We have two. Oh, we had somebody quit. That's good. So let's get some more viewers, because then we're actually going to show you into the depths of what is considered our reptile room. 7 viewers. 8 viewers. It's going to be the best waste of time in your life to come and watch this little episode of whatever Tuesday with the Berg family. I am so sexy. You are right, Rob. Thank you. Say hi, Blake.
I'm going to be feeding my little boo-boo butt.
What?
My little boo-boo butt.
You gotta talk loud. She can hear you.
Travis, there is nothing
I'm going to feed him.
nothing wrong with a good waste of time.
I'm going to feed him.
Okay, we'll film you doing it.
Blake is going to feed his little monster here in a minute, his Savannah monitor. We are going to focus this, whatever Tuesday,
He's kind of mean.
on monitors. Do you want to tag those monitor people in this video? The people that monitor questions?
Yeah.
Lately, there's been a bunch of people in the group getting into monitors, and monitors aren't easy. They really aren't easy. So if you're interested in monitor lizards, this will be the video for you.
Like? They have the option to like.
And you get to see our snake room. That not better. Well, it's kind of like half our snake room now. It's more like a lizard room.
It's a reptile room.
Reptile room.
Mm-hmm.
8 viewers, 7 viewers. Oh, people are falling off.
I think it tells you every time I leave and come back.
Oh, well, don't leave. 9 viewers. All right, let's get 10 viewers and we'll start walking around. Also, a lot of good 10 viewers. Did you tag those people yet?
They won't let me, but I'm trying to tag certain people.
Did you put...
It's not letting me tag anybody. Rob, will you tag Jessica King and Katie?
12. All right.
No, it's 10.
See, it says very nice enclosure. Hi, Blake. And that's from Amanda's son, Aiden. Say hi, Aiden.
Someone tag Katie and someone tag Jessica King.
Katie who?
Katie Michelle.
Tag him on this post.
It won't let me.
I'm talking to Rob.
Oh.
Yeah, Rob's not listening to me either. Okay, 12 viewers. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm just going to give you a very broad general overview of
Why
what
can't I?
this reptile room
Can I?
looks like. Now I'm going to do it real quick, okay?
Why can't I do it?
You're going to do
We're going to help, okay?
I want
We're not going to spend a lot of time on things that are not monitors, but if you have some questions, feel free to ask them. Okay, so step number 1 will be...
Turn it off selfie mode?
No, it's always going to be on selfie mode.
Oh, dear Lord.
Right,
turn it off selfie mode.
right in front of me, Shania sent me a text. She says, I'm watching live video. I hate being able to comment. I miss the interaction. Well, if you didn't flash your titties all over the internet, then you wouldn't have this problem. Okay. All right. So, right in front of me. Right there. Okay, flipping around. Right here. This is kind of our wall of most of our ball pythons. We got some bloods mixed in there too. Some monitor cages. We have more balls, bloods, berms, anacondas,
Retex. And a boa.
retics, one singular boa. We have some more cool lizards that we're going to take a look at here in a minute. Some more monitors, some more lizards. This is our HOTS wall over here.
Oh, I should be standing over there then.
Baby, you'll break my camera. The
Okay,
sizzle.
now it's the hot wall.
So silly. Okay, some more
It's my
monitors.
little baby.
We're going to feed this little baby here in a minute.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Some of our bigger snakes, Tegu,
This one.
Big Berm. More monitors.
Blackthroat.
Blackthroat, we'll take a closer look at that enclosure here in a minute.
Small.
Smog's
Crazy.
enclosure.
Crazy guy.
Bring this back to our wall of ball. And more
And the
of
Junior.
our
Junior.
lizards.
Junior.
Okay. So that is the basic rundown of where a lot of our reptiles are. We have since moved some more reptiles into the house since we are expanding on our lizard collection, and lizards are humongous and take up a lot of space.
We have
So
I'm going to take you there.
reconnect. Okay, sorry.
to try the button.
Okay. So first up here, Blake, why don't you come feed our Savannah monitor?
Because the review are going to tell her you're not going to take much longer.
Come on,
Oh
Blake.
my goodness.
Hey, Blake.
Am I waiting for mom?
Mom doesn't need to help you. Come on.
Okay, we're what up with the feeding?
I'm waiting for mom to give me the tongs.
Door free ticks are pretty neat, Travis. We don't have any door free ticks. We just have ones that happen to be small because they're not very old yet.
They're not.
Okay.
normal.
Right here, Blake, what is this animal that you are feeding?
Savannah.
You got to squeeze.
A what?
Savannah.
Savannah what?
Bring her
What
over
are
here.
you feeding it?
Quail eggs.
Go ahead and
Hard-boiled.
squat him. Oh, that's one way to do that. You gotta squeeze a little harder than that.
What's this monitor's name?
Venom.
This is Venom.
You can't really bite it.
He's got it pretty good. There he goes.
Oh, yeah.
So
Get on
these
that one.
monitors do love their eggs.
Get that one.
These ones just happen to be hard boiled. Most of the time we do whole raw quail eggs when we feed them, but these ones are the ones we had handy, and it doesn't seem to matter much to the monitor. Nom 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 nom.
But you have to give it the like straight, like this, because
Just like that, Blake?
Just like that. You just drop it on the ground, get some good dirt on it, adds a flavoring. Squeeze. There you go. Keep squeezing.
Here you go again. Here you go, mister.
You can see, for those of you that are interested in Savannah monitors, this is a mid-sized Savannah monitor. He's only a couple feet long.
I'm supposed to do it.
All right, I'll
not
bring him up.
You.
Okay.
Go ahead and go pet him.
You feed him.
His enclosure is still relatively small. It's a 2x4x4 box.
Yep, it's a box.
Shania says you work out.
Come on. Get out. Explain why I'm taking him out. Come on. Come on, Punk.
So I could pet him.
Come on, Punk.
We are working on having him come out for the food, so we don't really pet them in their enclosures. We make sure that we bring them out of their enclosures and we
Don't
lure
make
them
him
out
bite
with the
my
food
toes.
All right, go ahead, Blake.
before we
There you
really
go.
interact with them.
Here you go, boy. Good boy.
And you see the
Little
enclosure,
puppy.
we have very hot lamps in there. The basking spot in there is about 150. So those of you earlier who were getting basking spots in the 90, that is way too cool.
Show them how you can tripod. You know how to do it. Come on. Come on.
Now, tripoding with a monitor is a little bit different when I tripod. But yeah, they stand on their hind legs and on their tail and they stand up. That's Venom, a Savannah monitor. Those cute little tiny things that you buy at the store end up being that in just a couple
Well, here, I'll show them the cute little tiny.
years.
Tiny little tiny.
Alright, now we're going to show you the cute little tiny one.
About 40. You can't really see how long it is on that.
Laura's bring it over.
Can I hold him?
Guys, if you have any questions, please ask questions. Last thing I see that is being
Daddy.
posted here is plop.
Over here. I'll get it.
He's already about the size of my 2 hands.
Yeah, that is a small, that's considered a hatchling Savannah monitor that we got to work with. So he's actually doing pretty
From
good.
Miss Suzette.
Yes, from Miss Suzette. He's doing pretty good.
They're
A
not
lot of
so-
these are import animals, so many times they don't do so well. But
What are you doing?
fortunately,
Don't crawl up.
it's going to come back. Yep, there we go. Fortunately, this one is eating pretty well.
Here. Mom.
So we're pretty happy
What?
with
Do
that.
you want to see anything else, guys?
Yeah, we're
We're
gonna
going
do
to
the
show
other
them some
monitors.
more monitors, okay?
I'm just gonna put this guy up real quick.
Can I go back upstairs?
Look at those legs.
Yeah, if you don't want to help with the other monitors, you can go back upstairs.
All right, say goodbye, Blake.
Bye-bye.
All right, so you can leave now.
Well, I want to just... Wait, is Peter Pan in the case that says Peter Pan?
Okay. I'll let you have missed, Brianna, you missed us feeding this guy, which is a Savannah monitor. Okay, how
I can
long do
feed
they
him
live and how
again
big
if
do they
you
get?
want.
Monitor. All right, sorry about that. The monitor lizards can live to be 15, sometimes 20 years old. They can get to be nearly 4 feet long. Those ones are exceptionally large, though. I've only run into a couple that have been true 4-foot Savannah monitors. This one here is about 2.5. We have another that is about 3 feet long. They are great.
Very cute.
They are great pets if you take proper care of them. They can be,
Bye, everybody.
if you don't take care of them properly, they can be a bit of a nightmare. But again, with the Savannah monitors, you want to keep them extremely hot. Give them basking spot. Like I said, our basket spot up here is about 150 degrees. And he, of course, has a temperature gradient down in his lower level where he can get warm. Miranda, it depends on the depends on each individual animal. Monitors can be tame. Some monitors are prone to being a little nippy, but this one here, Venom here, is actually pretty good. He's still learning to work with us. So we haven't taken him out to any big events or anything yet, but he's gonna come along just fine. Lyric, puppy dog tame. That's good, but you want to make sure that they're puppy dog tame and they're still kept at the high temperatures. A lot of people, and I'm not saying you're doing it, I'm just saying in general, a lot of people keep their Savannahs or any other monitor way too cool, and that does make them more docile. But if he's nice and hot and being kept and still docile, that's awesome. We have some animals like that as well.
The Tegu is doing gymnastics.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and move over to the Tegu because the Tegu is trying to climb out of his enclosure. Now the Tegus we don't need to keep as hot. You gonna open that?
Yeah.
Now he is rather
No.
yeah, this is Bam Bam. He really likes his food.
Watch out, I don't want to go butt right in front of the camera when I go to pull this.
Yeah, you do.
Stop.
All right, so Bam Bam
I lost the phone. There we go.
is going to eat some quail eggs and probably going to steal some chicken gizzards as well, so some little snacks. Do you want the quail egg?
Yeah, he just wants me to be lazy and hand it to him.
Hand it to him. There he goes. So we do tongue feed all of our big lizards. As many lizards as we can, just gets them to know us a little bit more, gets them to, I wouldn't say trust, because I don't think that's really a concept that they have, but get to know that we're not a threat and that when they see us, it means good things. There's a little tripod action for you.
Oh,
Oh,
goodness.
nice catch.
Hold on, you're next,
Yeah.
and so are you.
Now the monitors know that it is time to eat because they're trying to claw and get out. But we don't take out multiple monitors at one time. It's just not worth
Don't
the
you bite
risk.
me.
I'll make sure to say hi to your snakes for you, Jamie. I guess make sure you guys ask some questions. It's a lot more interesting when you ask the questions. For For those of you checking out Laura's legs, you can see that gash on her knee. That is from some monitor action, I believe.
No, I
earlier
tripped
today.
over your Cayman lizard just enclosure.
Never mind, she's just clumsy.
Hold on a second.
See, Jessa, if you're talking about the Savannah no, not the Savannah monitor, the Tegu here, right here in front of us, they're pretty easy to care for. Again, it's a lot of time, space, and expense to care for them. His enclosure here is a little bit different. This is actually a vision cage. You get away with a shorter enclosure for them. This is a 6x3 vision cage. His basking temp is about 120 in there right now. They could be kept at a cooler basking temp. You can see how personable he is over here. So he eats a lot of different things. Right now he's eating gizzards and eggs. He'll also take things like chicken wings, dubia, roaches, worms. He'll take rodents. He'll take fish. He'll take a lot of vegetable diet as well. We'll feed him mushrooms. We'll feed him squash, tomatoes, grapes.
Where are you going?
He's not a huge fan of greens, but some of them are actually fans of greens. Best way to tame a Colombian Tegu. Yeah. Do you have digging space for them? They have some digging space. This one here only has about 6 inches, but we do have pre-molded holes for him as well. And he actually does not spend a lot of time really digging. If we thought he would dig more, we'd definitely provide him with more space. But since we have the pre-formed little deal for him, he uses that. Do Tegus ever have aggressive tendencies? Some Tegus can. Again, it's all up to the individual animal. The Colombians that Lyric was talking about before they... Okay, sorry about that. The Colombians tend to be much more flighty than the Argentines in general. But as with any animal, you're going to end up with your jerks and your nice ones. This one is pretty much one of the nice ones. We take
Then go
him
back in your room if you're not going to eat.
to a lot of the shows. Give him another egg and send him on his way and clean up the blood off the floor.
No, but it's lovely. Go back in your room.
All right, no, go back in
Go
there.
back in your room.
And we're going to move on
Go.
to the next lizard here. Now, hold on. All right, now we're getting bigger just because he happens to be right here. This is Falcor.
Come on.
Falcor
Get over here.
is in a huge enclosure. This is an 8x4x4. Humidity levels for both.
Really freaking human.
Yeah, really freaking humid. Pretty much like right now, sticking my head in here with the Savannah.
This is a black throat, but close.
Oh, with the black throat, it's pretty much raining in there. The Tegu's a little bit less, but that's just because it's not as hot in there. So as humid as you can get, which is one of the reasons why they actually do very well down here in Houston.
Oh, lovely. Oh, lovely.
Now this black throat, he's eating some chicken liver right now. He likes a lot of protein in his diet. Come on out, Falcor.
Come here.
He'll eat eggs. He'll eat basically everything I was talking about before. A lot of rodents. They love these. Yeah, Florida is a great place for monitors. You could find a lot of actually feral Nile monitors all over the place down there if you look.
All right. You're not stealing.
From what I've read anyway. That's Falcor. Falcor is a blackthroat. Falcor is over 4 feet long, nearly. I'd actually say he's probably closer to 5 feet long.
No, that's cheating. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Get him away from that ball.
Cheater. 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 There we are.
Oh, no, that's so good. So they eat a lot. We feed ours quite often, probably about every other day. And basically, I'm not going to say as much as they can eat, but this tray will be gone by the time we're done feeding our monitors.
All right,
Depends
ready?
on the size here. This guy could definitely take a couple pounds of food each
Come on.
feeding.
Come on.
Give us
Show
some
me.
more
Good
questions,
try that.
guys.
Come on. There you go. Good boy.
Good boy. This one's a relatively new acquisition here, Falcor, so he's still getting used to the whole show thing. So far, he has shown that he is perfectly okay with us with smaller groups. He does not like large group interaction. He's not a fan of being outside, out in open spaces. Oh, yeah, get it. Get that little piece off that, will you? The side of the enclosure, the window. There you go.
That's even an actual bite, Mom. Just like that didn't even count, does it? Yeah, it's like a waste of your time. All right.
Don't eat that. Don't eat that. Best way to keep them hot, pretty much all of them if I hold them. Best way to keep this hot is to use cluster lighting, so a lot of different bulbs rather than one bright bulb. One bright bulb has the risk of actually burning the animal, whereas you could use a lower wattage cluster lighting and achieve the heat without getting a super hot spot. Large water bowls are a must for all these animals. Their food is actually just out of the fridge, so it's cooler than room temp, but it doesn't seem to bother these guys at all. The eggs are room temperature, but these gizzards and stuff are out of the fridge. So we use these big concrete mixing tubs, which some of you guys use for breeding rats and such as their water bowls, and makes the neighborhood smell when we dump it outside in the yard. Or we use a shop vac. But there is Falcor, nice gigantic enclosure.
All right.
Moving
Rat's
on.
all behind me over here.
All right, we're moving on to our larger lizard, well, longer. I don't know if he's larger. He does have an 8.5 by 3.5 foot enclosure that's about 5.5 feet tall.
You bring him over here, or you bring him out on that side? Which would be easier for you to film.
It's going to be easier right there looking at you. You like my wood? Everybody likes my wood.
What was I playing catch with him with?
Did I make the cage? No. No, I did not make any of these cages. It's not because I don't have the ability to. It's because I lack the desire to. When I can find them for sale every once in a while for relatively cheap. You got to go to the other side, hon. Go up. You got to pull that down.
Oh. Got it.
You're so funny.
I know. Come here.
But
Stop.
no,
Come here.
this cage we actually just
Come here,
purchased
Mom.
not too well yesterday, to tell you the truth, and put it in here, and there is
Doofus. He has the camera. I have the food.
that's Smog. He's an Asian water monitor.
Come here, Bubba.
He's an easy almost 5 foot, about the same length as Falcor, much lighter bodied, much more willing to use vertical space though, so that's why we gave him the taller cage and the bigger wood. He is a big lizard, he just doesn't look like it right now in this setting. But once he gets over next to Laura, you're going to see how big he is.
All right, come on.
Come on out. Small. Come on. Come on. Come on. Why do I need to come out? Mom's just going to feed me in here. There he goes.
Lazy bomb.
Oh, Mom. Do you or is it acceptable to co-house large lizards? Depends on the species. You could do, if you raise them together, you can do, like the blackthroats in savannas, you can cohabitate. If you raise them together, you have to have an extremely large facility to do that. much bigger than what I have here.
Ready?
If I was going to co-house,
Oh, he's swinging a miss. Give it up. No, cheater.
I was going to co-house Savannah monitors, I might be able to do 2 or maybe 3 in my largest cages that I have. But
Yeah!
good catch. Sign them up for the frisbee dog contest. Yeah, you need just a really large
Ready?
enclosure. I don't recommend very many
Ready?
people cohab any species unless they do have that really large enclosure. With the water monitor, Nile monitors, I probably wouldn't cohab unless I'm breeding waters. I'm really not too sure on that. I've not heard of people cohabbing outside of breeding.
All right, try bud.
But people do keep groups of, like I said, the Savannah monitors and the black throats or white throats.
Oh, you lazy bum.
But you never want to mix species. There's been a I breed. I've got 3 kids, 7, 15, and 19. But we don't breed our lizards as of yet. We may someday. Right now, we have multiple Savannah monitors. We probably won't breed the Savannah monitors. But with the other animals, we only currently have like 1 of each species, except for the Nile. So we're probably going to grow out the Niles and attempt to breed them in the future here. This here is Laura feeding an Asian water monitor. Very similar looking to a Nile. One of the differences is nostril placement. And also the way that they just kind of look over all. We're going to pull out, show you guys a Nile here
I
in
love
a
you.
second.
Go in your room.
Now you can see the difference. Get that fat belly in there. You need some more exercise.
You can go swimming. Oh, yeah. Wash your face off. Go clean your face. Face is gross.
Yeah, very rarely are Niles this docile. Yeah, hold that down. All right. I'm going to show you a little Nile. We're going to have to change this light.
You're going out?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll fight with it.
All right.
You have to move.
You move.
I have to go on this side of it.
No. All right, here's Laura taking out our small Nile. You might be able to twist that a little bit. There you go. I got a light that is not cooperating with us. So this is our small Niles enclosure. This is basically a 3 by 3 box, 3 by 3 by 3. This little Nile here, now you can see the difference.
Because I just moved her.
Yeah, we just put her in this enclosure. I believe some food in there with her. She is really, really skittish. Do these big lizards actually understand commands? No. Sometimes I like to pretend they do, but
They know get back in your room.
yeah, sure. But no, they don't understand my commands. But I still talk to them. Hell, I talk to the snakes and they can't even really hear me. I talk to Laura and she don't hear me worth a crap. No, I don't have a green tree python. If you want to talk about green tree pythons, talk to Van.
Oh, shit.
Put it away. Just put it away.
Stop. Sorry for the language.
Close the door. Laura doesn't like it when they...
That's still a little
talk to the
lizard.
door. That's still a little lizard. She has a lot of work to do. Next up we
Me
have...
and the lizard.
Both. Next up we have our Domerals. This is our Domerals cage. Domerals are arboreal monitors. Actually, they're arboreal and somewhat aquatic as well. And ours has wedged itself up over here. See if she'll chow down. There she
Entire
goes.
thing of liver. Take it.
There she goes. It's a little female.
Where are you going with that?
Brandon, we've actually been doing these whatever Tuesday or our Ask Away Sunday videos here a couple weeks, so we're going to start focusing on different things every week. So this week is focus on the monitors. You can see there he's cleaning. He's clinging to the side of the cage. For most environments, I do not suggest wire as a cage choice. It simply does not hold humidity and heat in for really any animal. But these guys are fortunate enough to live in my reptile room where the ambient is about 84.
There you go. Go look at it.
About 84 degrees right now. It stays pretty steady.
Look at the dang humidity. It's hot.
Yes, and it's very, very humid. We have actually extremely humid in the Houston area right now with all the rain and severe flooding that is going on. So if any of you are part of that flooding, be safe. It kind of sucks out there right now. We're pretty fortunate in our area. We are no longer doing iguanas, Kenneth. Iguanas are lame. We will do a stream of the hots. We'll do that some other week, Matthew. All right, let's go take a look at.
You can feed my Nile inside.
Sure.
I'm here in the closet. No, it was in my hand.
All right, we're gonna put you on me because I'm awesome. All right, we're gonna do. Come on. We will do a live stream of the hots here in the near future, probably next week. Well, maybe the week after, just depending on how the schedule is working out. Laura's going to feed Apollo, our bigger Nile. Apologies, I'm trying to take out a snail. There you go. We try to do live every week. Do a live show. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm trying to thaw out this snail real quick. Okay. Coming over here, we're going to feed this Nile. This is Apollo, a larger Nile, who is somewhat hissy, and from the smell, they pooped. All right. This is our only big lizard that we actually have inside, simply because we don't have enough room outside for all these enclosures. This is a taller enclosure for now for this guy, until he gets a little bit bigger. He's about 3 feet long right now. And you could tell he likes to eat. This is one that we're working on currently with trying to get him to tame down, and he's doing a pretty good job.
I want to explain why there's a glove on my hand.
There's a glove because Laura likes to get bit by this guy.
He misses and he grabs me.
Nope, I don't make the enclosures. I buy them cheaply from people because we can. Most of the time, actually, custom enclosures can be very expensive. Some of them are relatively easy to build, but we just happen, because we are so, people know who we are in the community. If they have something that they think we could use come up for sale, they will ask us, and I take advantage every time.
Those are my tongs.
All right. Well, that's Apollo. One more. Now, Apollo actually had a burn when we got him. That is a burn probably from somebody who did not use the cluster style lighting, which is the multiple bulbs. You see, he's actually doing pretty good in the taming arena. We got one more. And so he got actually too hot and has a nice scar there.
Grab the egg.
Those eggs are boiled, and that's just because that's what they had at the Asian food store that we stopped at. Whether or not they're boiled or raw really does not matter too much. They do lose some nutrients. They do lose some nutrients, and they don't have the shell, so they're lacking in a little bit of calcium. But these guys get plenty of calcium with all the other eggs that they eat and the bones of their prey items. I'm going to show you guys another lizard. I'm going to show you the What's my little guy? The Cayman lizard. And these eggs are more than boiled. They're actually canned and boiled because that's just what they had at the Asian Food Mart. Again, it doesn't really matter that much. Yeah, worked for the demonstration purposes. All right, while I am, you can hear the water running, I'm thawing out a frozen snail, a frozen apple snail here that we collected last year. They're actually an invasive species down here in Texas, so we collect them quite a bit. And I freeze them for months before I feed them to any of my animals. But they are great food, these apple snails.
Wait! Come let the dogs in.
They are, and just spray these out.
I put the little ones out.
Oh.
Come let the dogs in.
Alright, so now we're going to come out here, out to my wonderful snake room, visitor room, reptile room. And we're going to take a look at my little guy over here. And I'm going to find where... Laura, can you give me the feeding tongs, please? This is the way that I have chosen to house my little Cayman lizard here. He has a hot basking spot. His basking spot is over 110 degrees. And will remain so as long as Laura does not break the light.
I haven't broke a bulb in at least 20 minutes.
And this is actually a turtle tub. This is a turtle tub, mostly water. It's got a basking spot there in the water, a little bit of land. He spends about 50-50 time. This, of course, is not a forever home for this guy. This is a temporary enclosure because these guys can get quite big. Are you ready to eat? Come here. So I have here
I got you.
this apple snail.
Shed.
He's in shed right now. Okay, what type of eggs?
Which way are you going?
Doesn't matter. It's a square.
I just made everybody really dizzy.
Um,
As far as what type of eggs we feed the tegus, I prefer.
Film this.
I am filming. Oh. Yeah. I prefer to use raw quail eggs on the tegus. You can do chicken eggs, but most say with the chicken eggs to go ahead and cook them if they're the store-bought kind, just because you don't know for sure.
Why aren't you eating? Come on. Mom will wake you up. You are in the middle of a shed, which shouldn't affect your eating. Normally, he gobbles right up on the food here.
Anybody else?
There, wake up. Come on.
He says no, no.
He's saying no, no. All right. I'll let you say no, no. Well, you're kind of lame. Come on.
Said I'm asleep.
I will leave that in there for you.
Alright.
Well, sorry about the lameness, guys.
Aaron. I guess Adrian already answered you about the boiled eggs. Yes.
Dad,
What?
can you get Brady in this room?
We'll get him in a minute. Don't worry about it.
It's impossible for me.
Okay. We'll get it in a minute. I'm gonna try to pet you. You at least say hi to the camera? You gonna eat the camera? Yeah. Alright.
All right, any questions about any of these lizards that we saw today? Oh, there's always the Colombian, too.
Oh, here, hold on. I'll try to find it.
Which way are we facing?
I don't know.
Okay.
For feeding tongs.
This, yeah, doesn't look like he wants to eat with a crowd. He's a very good eater. These guys are notoriously bad feeders, though, because they are all captive. Now, here is an interesting animal. This is our Colombian tegu. This is Minizilla.
Lights are already off, so he may not. They don't know what to think of these.
He'll eat the other stuff, though.
Are you just gonna be pissy?
Yeah.
His light's already off, so he's like, I'm asleep.
pick them up. Now,
Dang,
these
I see
guys, when they are kept warm enough,
Oh, really?
are really, really flighty. Very, very rarely have I seen one of these that are tamed down.
Nope.
They're not nocturnal. They
He's
are
going back to
active
sleep.
in the daytime. All these lizards that we have seen today are actually active during the daytime. This guy, it's already time for his lights out, so he is getting to cool down here. Again, the Wall of Hots. We'll concentrate on the Wall of Hots here another week.
She already be out too.
And then there's Izzy, our other Savannah monitor down there, who I think is, she's pretty much out for the count tonight too. We did do a pretty major relocation of all these cages this weekend, so some of these animals are getting adjusted to the fact that they had to basically relocate and move around. Any movement can be stressful for animals.
I'm going to feed the rest of these.
All right, any general questions about any of this stuff? I will do my best to answer those.
Come here. You have to see legs.
They're all cute. Yes, they are all absolutely adorable. Ugh. Okay, we just tuned in, and then you just missed the whole show, Justin.
That's all right, I got the
But you could watch it on the replay. There's a whole bunch of stuff with feeding monitors and feeding lizards. And Laura is feeding a
Getting
TV
the boss
right
the egg.
there, right now. And just talking monitors and tegus and the like. So any questions about any of those, and I'll do my best to answer those. We're definitely not experts about lizards. We've only gotten into them really just this year. I've had Savannah monitors for about 20 years, but that's only one species. Let's see. Which big lizard makes the best pet? Whichever one you are willing to take care of. They all make great pets. They all have parts of their care or personality that are just awesome. We really like our tegu. Laura's playing with it right now. Tegus are great.
last egg.
They're not huge. They're still a big lizard without being freaking ginormous.
Yep.
Savannah monitors are really good because they stay about the same size and are generally very docile. I really like the bigger monitors. Water monitors are usually a pretty docile animal. Ours is still very much a baby that you saw earlier today. Let's see if he's back out. Yeah, here he is. This guy is still a baby, even though he is about 5 feet long. He'll get to be over 9 feet long. So sheer size, a water monitor has it, or you get the massiveness of the black throat here, and that's 5 feet of beef right there. How do we get started in reptile keeping? Well, I've been keeping somewhat seriously for about 20 years. With more seriously, we've been keeping as a family for, how long have we been married?
It'll be 8 years.
Yeah, so for
9 years.
about 8 years we've been keeping more seriously as a family together. And I got into reptiles because I couldn't have cats and dogs growing up because my parents were allergic. And Laura just liked the animals that were outside here that we share here in Texas. We have more snakes than any other state in the nation, so that's how she became interested in them. So we just kind of grew it together, and the rest is Facebook history. Again, the Dumerals who went into hiding, you could see her tail as she went and burrowed down into the cypress. Oh, she popped back up right over there after she got her food. Main requirements of tegu and blackthroat: minimum enclosure size and how much free time will they need. If they want them to be as tame as y'all's. You want get as big as enclosure as possible. Our black throat right now is in an 8x4, which will not house him his entire life, unfortunately, because it's freaking huge. We'll probably have to end up going bigger here in the next year. Tegus, you get away with much smaller enclosures. Our black and white Tegu is in a 6x3 by, what is that, 2? They don't have nearly the heat requirements, but the more space you could provide, if you could provide a stable environment in that space, is the best. And if you want them to be as tame and as cool as ours, I don't know. We've never really screwed up a monitor yet, so yeah, just interact with them. Tongue feeding is key. You definitely want to tongue feed these animals. That helps build a lizard version of trust or whatever. Oh, Justin, we already did all that. I'll do a quick rock around again. How old are our monitors? Matt asked. It depends. Let's see. We do not know for sure on this black throat. Here's our big black throat enclosure. 8x4 by 4. Time to reconnect. Okay, reconnected. We don't know how old he is. He actually came to us as this size here just a month or so ago. I'd have to guess probably about 3 to 4 years old. Our big water monitor enclosure, that houses Smog. 8.5 by 3.5 by 5.5. Smog here is less than 2 years old. He's still a baby, and he's going to get a lot bigger. Our Tegus enclosure, as he's roaming around in front of me, is just your typical vision cage. That's a 6x3. Our Savannah monitor cage, for our smaller Savannah monitor, it's a 2-foot animal and a 4x2 by 4 foot high enclosure. So he's got plenty of space here. Then our slightly larger Savannah monitor is an enclosure that I believe is too small for him, but it works. It works for her. She's also blind, so she doesn't know any different. That's a 2 foot wide by 6 foot long by 3 foot and change high enclosure. So those are the enclosure sizes that we have.
Colombian, 4x2
Colombian's in a 4x2 by 2.
Nile's in a 6 by, what is that, 4 by 3 by 6?
Nile is in a one about
2 by 6, whatever they were.
this high. The Demeral's enclosure here is about 6 foot high, 4 foot wide, 2.5 foot deep. That's about the size of our other one inside. Baby Nile is in here in a 3 by 3 by 3 box. All right.
Did they see the Tegu?
They saw the Tegu. All right. Any more questions?
The Tegu says, yeah, I can't figure out what y'all did with my enclosure.
So normally the Tegus enclosure has historically been right over here, and we moved it. So she actually tried to go home, and he couldn't find the right spot. So he's a little confused. Go back home.
He said, I'm trying. My home is here.
That's not your home anymore. All right. Do they need lots of attention? That depends on you. They don't need anything from us. Any time that we spend with a monitor is really for us. We spend a lot of time with our lizards, mostly because we want them to be sociable animals, because we do a lot of educational shows. Yeah, we do have a dirty floor in here, guys. This is very much a working room. It's a converted garage, so I don't keep the floor spotless. And that's just all dirt because of all the monitor enclosures that we have, that we use dirt to house them. We're not going to do big snakes today. Adria will do that a different week, and then I'll show you my big snake. But yeah, Matt, we'll do. They do need a lot of attention if you want to keep them tame and sociable. We interact with ours nearly every day for at least a couple minutes. You're welcome as always, James. Do we keep anoles? No, we do not keep anoles. I have anoles. What's that?
We'll do the little lizards inside another day.
I do have anoles in my garage. There are no reptile room. As I was saying, there are anoles in my reptile room, but that's because I live in Texas, and they're wild to this area. They're native to this area, so we do have anoles in the room. Whenever I catch one outside, I'll toss it in the reptile room. They help keep down the flies and spiders and that sort of stuff. So, all right, what's a small monitor that can be kept in an area without requiring a special enclosure? There are smaller monitors out there. The Ackies are a very small monitor. They only get to be about the size of a bearded dragon. So you can do a 4-foot enclosure with those very easily. Do I have collar lizard? I do not. Andrea, I will do a quick spin. There's the reptile room. Poof. Okay. We don't have any collared lizards. We do have some smaller lizards. We'll do a video on smaller lizards some other time. I don't have any collards. I had some collards when I lived in Alaska, but now I don't have them. They used to be much more prevalent in the hobby. You can see he definitely uses the vertical space. All right, ladies and gentlemen, any more questions, particularly about large lizards and monitors? Or if I did not answer your question, feel free to ask it again, because sometimes I just ignore you. Matt, bearded dragons? Yeah, I have an aggressive bearded dragon as well, and I kind of like it. He does pretty well once he's out of his enclosure. Just getting him out of his enclosure can be the hardest part. Do we sell reptiles? Yes, we do. We do breed and sell. How do you give them a lot of attention? It's not necessarily a lot. These guys don't get nice. Thank you.
I didn't know you were filming this. I thought you were filming you.
Nope. We don't get nearly as much of attention that we give to like our dogs or anything like that.
Oh no, I'm getting licks.
There you go. You're anthropomorphizing.
Oh, thank you.
This guy here, we see Laura's actually sitting in the enclosure with plenty of space.
Those are my toes. No, my toes.
Monitors are venomous, so we do have lots of venomous lizards. But no, we don't have any of the typical venomous lizards, such as the Gila or the bearded. So we to give them attention, we'll feed them with our tongs, so that provides a lot of interaction. With a couple of the bigger ones, we'll actually bring into the house every once in a while, and we'll just let them roam around while we're watching TV. And like with the Savannah monitors, Blake will sit and watch TV holding those guys. Most of the interaction these guys get is actually from educational shows, so we just want them to be around people as much as possible. What did we use to build for the monitor? I used my wallet, and I bought work that somebody else did for cheaper than I could make it, because I run into deals like that because I'm awesome. Now, there's actually a venom gland in most monitors that they're discovering now.
Yeah, like highlight of my day.
Laura got 150 degrees in one of the enclosures she just set up, which is great for monitors, so she's pretty happy. Now, they do actually, most monitors are actually able to produce a true venom. It's not just the bacteria that is present.
They have venom glands.
They actually have venom glands.
So do bearded dragons.
But, yeah, so do bearded dragons. But it's actually medically insignificant to humans. though, can cause some swelling, so it can be a venomous reaction, though it is actually very rare. They are a... Generally, if somebody had asked me if they're venomous, I'm going to say no, but to you guys, I'm going to tell you the truth.
123?
The same way that... That's good enough. The same way that some snakes do, Brandon, they inject it the same way that some snakes do. They actually do have some grooved teeth. It's not a fang like with the vipers or the elapids. It is delivered slightly different, but the definition of a venom is a toxin created in a gland, delivered into a prey item or predator by means of a wound. So with that definition, they are definitely venomous. Yes, they're not medically significant, but there have been recently some bites that have been obviously venomous, but again, no medical treatment was even sought. It's just like a really bad bee sting, which for me, all bee stings are bad, because I'll die. And there's different levels of venom, Brandon, so just because they're venomous doesn't mean that it's the I kill you in 2 seconds venom. It's just annoying.
Symptoms is what most people complain of with monitors.
This one, like Laura said, it's mostly like flu-like symptoms that people will complain of, and that's quick onset flu-like symptoms. So that's a different from a bacterial infection, which will take a while to get those flu-like symptoms, actually pretty quick. Chandler, no, each toxin, each type of venom is different, so even though I react to bee venom very poorly, it does not necessarily mean I will react to the venom from a lizard or a snake or any other animal as poorly as I would a bee's venom. What kind of monitor are we watching? We are currently monitoring a water monitor. This is Smog. He is one of my bigger lizards, even though he is still a baby at only about 2 years old. And nearly, well, probably 5 feet. 5 feet in length. We'll go visit another monitor while I sit and answer your questions, but Smog's just one of the more fun to watch. He's very active. As you can see over here, when we go and watch Falkor, this is what Falkor likes to do. Again, this is our blackthroat. He's our heaviest bodied animal. Nearly 5 feet long. Probably would be over 5 feet long if he didn't whip off the end of his tail. The best feeder to give your monitor. And Matt, what kind of monitor do you have? You know what kind of monitor Matt has?
I do not.
Matt Hayes. Okay, sorry, it keeps bugging out. Yeah, definitely, Matt, it depends on what kind of monitor you have, but the best feeders generally aren't actually even rodents. The best feed is going to be really lean turkey meat that is partially cooked to get out the rest of the fat out, and then you mix some bone meal in there, and then that is widely considered now, like mix it into patties or balls or to a sausage skin. That is widely considered the most successful monitor feeding technique right now. But I don't go that route, mostly because of a lot of prep time. So I feed a wide variety of items, of just meaty items. How do you come up with your names? Well, Falkor is the dragon off of Never Ending Story. Smog, the one that we were looking at earlier, while that name does come from The Lord of the Rings, our Smog is actually named after the Komodo dragon that recently passed away at the Houston Zoo. My son Blake was very distraught, so we told him the next monitor that he could name could be Smog, so that's how he got the name Smog. Yeah, Savannah monitors, that turkey diet works great for those guys. Hatchling Savannah, you can do the turkey diet off with the small Savannahs as well. Like I said, I do the turkey diet every once in a while, but mostly I feed a wide variety of different meaty items. With my small Savannahs, I'm doing pinky mice. I'm doing a lot of insect type prey items, but with the little guys, you need to feed them a lot. Bye, Jamie. Thanks for watching. I enjoyed your bathing suit photo shoot the other day. Wink, wink. That was just really creepy for everybody watching, I'm sure. Okay, this may have been asked, but what is the largest lizard that you would see in the wild? The largest lizard in the world is going to be the Komodo dragon. Those guys are heavily bodied animals. They can be over 300 pounds. They could be over 10 feet long as well. So those are definitely the largest lizards that you'll be able to encounter in the wild. These guys here, the water dragons, the water monitors that we have here, are actually among the second largest lizards in the world. They'll get to be over 9 feet long, and they'll get to be over 100 pounds. The croc monitors could actually get longer. They could get up to be 10, 12 feet long, but they're not nearly as heavy bodied. No, we don't have any Komodo dragons, even though Komodo dragon, Anthony, is a type of monitor, just the largest type of monitor. It is extremely difficult to own a Komodo dragon. Actually, I believe that nobody could own a Komodo dragon. They're still owned by the governments of the islands that they are in, but without a zoological permit, it is nearly impossible to get a hold of one.
Yeah, they're rented.
Would I ever own a Komodo? In a freaking heartbeat, if I had the space to house it. And I'm already stressing about the space to house my slightly larger lizard over here with the that guy over there. He was going to be over 9 feet long, so I would own a Komodo in a freaking heartbeat, though. That'd probably be my justification for selling this suburban house and getting some actual property somewhere. All right. Any more questions, especially about large lizards? I hope I answered everybody's questions. More questions, I keep talking. No more questions. I'm going to go get... All right, we're back. Do I have any I want to get rid of to you? As much as I'd love to give you what you want, Chandler, I don't have anything for you right now. Anthony, we do live things. We do these live shows usually Tuesdays, sometimes on Sundays. We'll do a better job of announcing them earlier in the day so we can get the times nailed down. But the last month or so we've been doing them, and it's kind of been, hey, let's do a video. So we will be doing them quite often. Not lizard related. Yes, we are still getting hammered with rain. It has not rained in the past couple days, but the rain should be hitting us in the next few minutes over here. We have some of the suburban areas of the greater Houston area that are under 8 to 10 feet of water, whole towns that have been evacuated. We're lucky this time. Katy was hit really hard a month ago, so now the floodwaters are kind of around us, but not in our part of the greater Houston area. So it's a pretty rough time down here. Chandler, we'll find something we could hook you up with. I'd hate to let you down. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if there's no further up, you really want to see a snake. So when should you start looking for one? Okay, so you want to see a snake, like, is that outside, Anthony? You need some more details. Are you looking to, like, look for snakes? Depends what part of the United States you're in, but it's springtime, so now's the time to look for snakes. And usually the easiest way to find them is going to be at the twilight area. Twilight. Oh, when do you do a show? Show on snakes. We've done lots of shows on snakes, but we'll announce it next time, and we'll focus on probably venomous next time. Advice for caiman lizards: get them checked out by a vet. Get a fecal done, and get lots of snails to feed them. Mine eats very well, but didn't happen to eat on cue. Do our neighbors know we have these creatures? Yes. And even if they're not fans of them, they tolerate them. But when we have the garage door open, the kids will often come over and check things out. People, when they have visitors, they'll come over and check things out every once in a while. But our neighbors are fairly tolerant. We haven't had many issues with them. What?
Falco woke up.
Ah. We haven't had many issues with them, but they're okay with them.
You want a rabbit?
Give it to, Alright, here's something about big snakes. If you want big snakes, we're not going to show you a feeding right now, but I'm going to show you what they eat. That is a 8-pound rabbit. There's my foot, and I'm size 10 foot, so it's a big rabbit.
Pretty anticlimactic if you wanted to.
Robbie, we're going to save the hots, probably not for Thursday. We'll do it next Tuesday.
Pretty anticlimactic if you wanted to actually watch.
No, we don't need to let them watch you eat the rabbit right now. No live mammal feeding. Oh, it's dead.
Pretty sure that rabbit is not alive.
We should charge money for these videos. James, we actually do. Just nobody checks their bank accounts. So, for every view... No, I freaking wish, James. I really do.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
what I could feel.
He's got it. Ass first. Just to show you from a distance, that is one of our big female berms wrapped up
Matt! Oh,
on a bunny rabbit. And he is, well, she is, she's butt first, but you know what? That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, hots, Brandon, hots are venomous snakes. We have a whole wall of venomous snakes that we, that we do a lot of stuff, so. Rob, you rescued a 2015 Pathfinder. Congratulations. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Animal Planet. Hey, maybe someday they'll give me a call to do a show. Who knows? But thank you, James. That is a really good compliment. Really want a red tail? We're not doing snake talk on this one. That is a good question to ask. Anthony, just go ahead and start your thread on that, just on the regular page with us, whatever Tuesday post.
What are they cooking?
Devin, sure, if you could scoop poop, wash dishes,
You can get that burn back in her, brother.
put up with Laura,
For it.
that sort of stuff. You guys want to see something funny?
No, this is not funny. Leave me alone.
I'm not going to show you. Laura is trying to shovel an 8-foot berm holding a rabbit
Shut up.
and back into its enclosure.
You should probably mention that the burn one's been dead.
Yeah, it's not a very nice berm. Chandler, I'd adopt you in a second. Laura's amazing. What about me, Devin? Come on. Yeah, James, I actually do get a handful of people that will come over and hang out just to help clean and be... I'm trying to talk over here.
I'm trying to get killed.
Oh, you popped that eyeball out of that poor thing. I don't think it's... I'm not going to do it. The rabbit's eyeball's popping out now. That's cool. Why don't you just let it get started first? Now you can see that I'm sweaty, and it's not just because I'm old and sweat a lot, but we do keep our reptile room very hot and humid, which does help keep all these animals healthy and alive and breeding.
This is why you don't let them come out of their enclosure after a run.
Yeah, Laura's trying not to get killed by a very angry 8 to 9 foot berm back there. I'm okay. Thanks.
I unplugged the wire stopper and it was so upset.
It is fun. We do spend a lot of time out here cleaning. It's kind of how we
Yes! Stop!
actually relax. Well, how I relax.
Stop! You're gonna hurt yourself or me.
Just let them get started. Yeah, I'd let her do... I better go help out with this situation.
Yes, bite the rabbit.
Oh, you can see right over my left shoulder there is the natural chemistry spray. That is, and we don't have mites right now, but we always have this stuff handy. Katie, they actually do have a venom. There are studies coming out on it now. There's bites being, and actually the Komodo dragon does have a venom too. It's in addition to the bacteria. It's not just the bacteria. Yeah, but if,
Research, Dr. Brian Greg Fry.
yeah, search Dr. Brian, what? Brian Greg
Greg Fry.
Fry. She's so strong. But if I don't save her, Chandler, it opens up some space for other people to come and help me out.
Are you getting this on film?
Bits and pieces.
I'm glad you're finding this so damn funny.
I think it's funny. This is how you put a berm back. Yes, lace monitors. Most monitors are venomous. The lace monitor bite was one that was that popped up recently, where somebody actually had a fairly bad reaction.
Get your rabbit. No, not me. Get the rabbit. Get your rabbit. Oh, look at the lucky rabbit foot.
One of these days, we're going to make it up north, James, to go check out some stuff up there. I really want some of the bull snakes from up in that region. Because, Brandon, we're not just picking it up because she is a rip-your-face-off snake. Tegus, I don't know if tegus are venomous. I see, in a normal question, if this was general public, I would say that monitors are not venomous because they're not medically significant. But tegus, I don't believe.
I need you to distract her. I'm done. Fight her.
Are venomous. I think I'm going to go ahead and get going, so my wife doesn't die.
Turn the camera. Turn the camera. That's him.
You just flipped off like a 13-year-old.
Well, show him the psychotic thing.
I've been watching the psychotic thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, love y'all. Some of you more than others. But thanks for everything, and goodbye.